Hey guys, Dan here. I'd like to take a minute, in fact several minutes, over two videos. Actually, I have a little mini, tiny little project thing here, whatever. I wanted to present to you guys. So basically I'm doing a video today, or about it, and then I'll be doing a second video. And they're all along themes of entitlement. Both for good and for ill. And today we're going to start off with the bad, and I like to end on a high note, or a really depressing note, as you know from the show. You gotta have it one way or the other. What I mean by entitlement, and specifically in towards these two videos, is that this weird fascination we have by listening to a small group of people and their special interests. And in some cases that can be a good thing, in some cases, most cases really, this can be a bad thing. And so in this video I'd like to look at the bad things, the bad ways we look at these singular groups, and how we look at a tiny insignificant minority of a people, even though we're supposed to be a democracy, the people, as in the people, all of the people's considerations can be taken into account, but I'm kind of blabbering here. So I'd like to look at some of the examples of some bad special interest group stuff, and maybe the reasons why it is, and just kind of getting my thoughts out there on that. And then the second video, which will be done later, some good things, and us looking at how our sense of entitlement maybe hasn't even gone far enough. Maybe we need to even express it even more. And as a whole, we need to realize that this whole entitlement thing is really just a couple of people, not even a couple of people, a lot of people, actually. It's bigger than what these special interest groups do. A few key people are, realizing, maybe there's something more. Maybe there's something more that needs to be done. But that's for the second video. I was reading a newspaper, and I came across this article about one parent getting upset over what their child was presented in the school for sexual education. In the article itself, the editor did say that there had actually only been one complaint about it in the few years that they've been running this program in that exact way. So it's never been a problem before. No child has ever brought it up to their parent, or the parents having brought in the child, they're like, yeah, they're teachers, they know what they're doing. And brought it up. Now one parent brings it up, and this is probably going to start into some cascade thing where these crazy people just get obsessed with this thing, and it spirals out of control without any sort of public, rational thought being put into it. And this unfortunately happens all the time. People get latched on to these little things without even thinking about it beforehand. And then laws get put in place, and all these crazy stuff happens, and then the actual needs of the people, not a person or a couple of persons, the needs of the people get left behind. I don't understand. I'm not going to say that we should favor one group of people or the other. It's the fact that you cannot favor one group or the other. And this is where this whole special interest thing comes into conflict with how our government should be run. And even, on the smallest levels, the municipal levels, the school board level, all the way up to the federal levels. And special interest groups, for some reason, can wield a massive amounts of power, even though they do not reflect all the time the needs of every people. So why does that happen? Well, part of it is we just simply give them that power. We have sacrificed some of ourselves to be put to that. I mean, we feel like they can do something more for us, and that they can, because of their ties into everything, they can actually do more. And in a lot of cases they can. I mean, the entirety of the United States presidency is dictated by how many donation dollars can be given by all these big corporations, their special interests. You get into this point where, yeah, okay, sure, the corporations are putting money, but that doesn't really quite decide it. But and everything really gets decided by all these stupid little interest groups who are not even looking out for what's best for everyone. They're looking at what's best for themselves, for their little clique, and then maybe thinking about beyond. And sure, that's a human thing. You think about yourself first, then you think about your family, then you think about your friends, and then you think of, it's a big cascading circle of what you really care about, and that's perfectly fine. But not with government. No, government is something higher, something supposed to be, at least. I mean, I'm not going to be naive here in saying that the government is almighty and, not able to make faults, but they do, and that's all right. I don't know where this even came from. I feel like it's always probably been there. I mean, you look at even Roman times, you had senators vying for things, and it's always kind of been there. But it's like the people who know things who actually, like the scientists, the engineers, the people who actually have the knowledge, and maybe in the time they would have been, the ones presented. Well, my guild represents this, and then therefore, our interests are put forth. That actually kind of makes sense. But nowadays you have these complete idiots campaigning for these things that they have no real knowledge about, and then terrible laws get enacted to protect stupid people instead of protecting good people. And this happens all the time, and it's kind of crazy, and we just let it. That's part of it, right? It's a social contract. We allow it to happen, and it's pretty sad. But on this part of it, though, is that because we've sacrificed so much, or because we've given so much to it, I don't even see a way of stopping it. I did have an idea, and it might be crazy, and I'd like to know the comments down below of, I can see this as a way, we can do it up in Canada, but I think it's even more important in the United States. It'll never happen. This is mad fever dreams of mine, of putting through legislation that would take campaigning funds, all of it, taken from taxpayer money, and then no special interest group, no corporation would actually be allowed to directly fund them, even indirectly. Really, you could then make it like bribes, right? Like blackmailing, that kind of thing, and extortion. There's laws against it, right? And this wouldn't limit all special interest groups, because there's the stupid little ones, the ones that aren't run by corporations, but those are kind of the big ones, and they have the most pull. So if you take the pull away from something else, maybe we can shift it somewhere else and maybe do some good. I'd really like to know what you guys think about that. And stay tuned. Mia's going to be doing some more things. And stay tuned for, again, my second video when I try to look at some good things about entitlement and how maybe we can explain some things that I think we're a little disappointed in. And maybe the reasons why that, and maybe ways we can hopefully get somewhere. And I like to explore that with you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.